Have you ever felt completely trapped? Pinned between an impossible situation and a terrifying outcome? It's a feeling of utter helplessness, a moment where you think, this is it. There's no way out. Well, today we're diving into one of history's most epic tales of being trapped, a story that has echoed through millennia about a people staring into the abyss with an entire army at their backs and an impassable sea before them. This is the story of the parting of the Red Sea. To really get the gravity of this moment, we need to rewind a bit. Imagine this: for 400 years, the Israelites have been enslaved in Egypt. Generations were born and died knowing nothing but back-breaking labor under the whip of the pharaohs. Their lives were not their own. But then, a leader emerges, Moses. Raised in the very palace of Pharaoh, yet destined to free his people. After a series of 10 devastating plagues that brought the mighty Egyptian empire to its knees, Pharaoh finally relents. Go, he commands. Leave Egypt. And so, they do. A massive exodus begins. Hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children, along with their livestock, leave the only home they've ever known. They are finally free, heading towards a promised land, a future filled with hope. They follow a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, a divine GPS leading them into the wilderness. But freedom, as they would soon learn, is not a simple destination. It's a journey, and this one was about to face its first, and perhaps greatest. Back in Egypt, Pharaoh is having second thoughts. His entire workforce has just walked out. His ego is bruised, his power challenged. Pride and rage consume him. What have we done? He laments to his officials. We've let our slaves go. He quickly musters his army. We're talking the best of the best. 600 of his finest chariots, elite fighting units, and the entire might of the Egyptian military thundering across the desert in hot pursuit. Meanwhile, the Israelites have made camp by the sea, the Red Sea. The name itself, Yam Suf in Hebrew, means Sea of Reeds. It's a vast, sprawling body of water. To them, it's a dead end. They're enjoying their first taste of freedom, likely exhausted but exhilarated. Then, a scout on a hilltop sees it. A dust cloud on the horizon. But it's not a sandstorm. It has the glint of sun on bronze helmets and the unmistakable rumble of thousands of chariot wheels. Panic erupts. The celebration turns to terror. The people cry out to Moses. Their words are dripping with fear and sarcasm. Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? What have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt? It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the desert. You can feel their despair. They see only two options: be slaughtered by Pharaoh's army or drown in the sea. The freedom they had just tasted now feels like a cruel joke. This is the ultimate moment of crisis. The point of no return. All is turned to Moses. He's the one who led them here. What can he possibly do? He's trapped right alongside them. But Moses, in this moment of extreme pressure, doesn't panic. He turns to his faith. He raises his voice above the cries of fear and makes a bold declaration. Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Imagine the guts that takes. To tell a terrified crowd to just be still while an army is bearing down on them. But then, something incredible happens. The pillar of cloud that had been leading them moves. It shifts from the front of the Israelite camp to the back, positioning itself directly between the Israelites and the pursuing Egyptians. It becomes a wall of darkness to the Egyptians, halting their advance, but it continues to give light to the Israelites throughout the night. It buys them time. Precious, miraculous time. Then, the divine command comes to Moses: raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the water so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry ground. Moses obeys. He stands at the edge of the water, the desperate cries of his people behind him, and stretches his hand out over the churning sea. What happens next is the stuff of legend. A powerful east wind begins to blow. Not just a breeze, but a fierce, gale-force wind that rages all through the night. And as the wind howls, the waters of the Red Sea begin to part. The sea is driven back, slowly but surely, revealing a path of dry land where there was once only water. And it's not just a muddy path. The Bible says the ground was dry. The water formed a wall on their right and on their left. A towering, liquid corridor through the heart of the sea. Can you even picture the scene? The sheer awe and terror of it. Walking between two colossal walls of water, the wind still roaring, the ground solid beneath your feet. The Israelites, their fear now mixed with utter amazement, begin their journey. Family by family, they step onto the seabed and walk through the sea. It's a slow, painstaking process. Hundreds of thousands of people, their animals, their belongings, all making their way through this impossible pathway. As dawn breaks, the Egyptians, who had been held back by the darkness, see the Israelites escaping. Enraged, Pharaoh orders his army to follow them into the sea. The chariots, the horses, the soldiers, they all charge down the path of dry land, confident they can catch their former slaves. They are in the very heart of the sea when the final act of this divine drama unfolds. The Lord tells Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea so that the waters may flow back over the Egyptians and their chariots and horsemen." Moses once again stretches his hand over the sea. And as the last Israelite steps safely onto the opposite shore, the walls of water collapse. The sea returns to its full force, crashing down with unimaginable power. The entire Egyptian army, the chariots, the horsemen, the elite soldiers is engulfed. The might of Egypt, the most powerful military force in the known world, is annihilated in an instant. As the sun rises higher, the Israelites stand on the far shore, looking back at the sea. The bodies of their former oppressors wash up on the beach. The threat is gone. Not just defeated, but completely and utterly erased. They are truly, finally free. The fear and despair of the previous night have been replaced by overwhelming relief, gratitude, and awe. They didn't just witness a miracle, they walked right through the middle of it. This event became the cornerstone of their identity as a nation. It was proof that they were not alone, that a power greater than any Pharaoh was watching over them. It was a story they would tell their children, and their children's children, for thousands of years. A story of how, when trapped between the devil and the deep blue sea, a path was made where there was no path. This story isn't just about a historical or religious event. It's a powerful metaphor for our own lives. We all face our own Red Sea moments, situations that seem impossible, where we feel trapped with no way out. It could be a financial crisis, a health diagnosis, a broken relationship, or a career dead end. We feel the Egyptians of our past mistakes or present fears closing in on us. And in those moments, it's so easy to despair, to think it's all over. But the story of the Red Sea teaches us to stand firm. It's a call to find that inner stillness, to have faith even when everything around us is chaos. It reminds us that sometimes, the way forward isn't about breaking down the walls in front of us, but about having a path open up through them in a way we could never have imagined. It's about believing in the possibility of a miracle, even when our logical minds tell us it's impossible. So, whatever your Red Sea is right now, remember this story. Remember the feeling of being trapped, and remember the power of a path being made through the impossible. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the most powerful stories ever told. Let me know in the comments what Red Sea moments you've faced in your own life. I'll see you in the next video.